What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to the Hardcore Dryad series in Dungeon Defenders 2. So in this series, we're going until we lose, and oh man, we are moving on now to Onslaught mode. And Onslaught can cause a loss if you're not paying attention, so let's get in and check it out. Now, of course, by completing those 10 expeditions, we were able to get Chaos 4 unlocked. To complete this particular new player questline mission, you only have to do 10 maps. It doesn't matter which ones you do. So with that in mind, if you really wanted to, you could do floor number 1 10 times, if that is what you chose. However, since we've got floor number 12 unlocked, we are going to go ahead and start things off right there. Let's hop on in and give it a whirl. And here we are. We have gotten the Molten Citadel for floor number 12 here. Now, of course, it is going to be very important to us to look at what's coming and look at the lanes. You see we've got javelin throwers there, so our trees are going to take some shots. We've got a fodder lane down below. We got geodes there. We've got some cyborgs rolling in right here. We're going to have more cyborgs from down below. We got a Dreadbones lane. And then a regular Whomper lane. Now, we're not using any crowd control at the moment, so things like Headstrong don't really matter to us as far as enemies not being stunned. So we're going to start things off by treeing each lane about midway down the stairs here. Something like this. Now, I'm going to basically build this one out the way I've been doing pretty much all the maps. So we're going to go with a slime up front, and then we're going to go with a few bees behind. Now, we're still banking on that Gobu Boom. Now, let's go 4 bees here. We see that the bee range is going nearly to the spawn, which means we're going to be getting those kills in right up front. Now, that's particularly important on these cyborg lanes. Of course, we don't want our defenses getting stunned. And by building close enough to the spawn, hopefully these cyborgs are going to be dead long before they get in stun range of any of the defenses. Now, we do have flyers here as well that we're going to have to attend to. So that is one of the reasons I gave myself some leftover DU, is we want to get some flyer goodies in as well. So I'm just going to go with like, we'll go with 2 bees right there. That should help with the flyers. We'll go with 2 right here as well, which should help with the flyers. And what else do we want to do? Well, we've got 140 left. 140 left would be what? We could go 4 more bees, and we'd have 20 left over. We could go 3 more slimes. I think that is probably what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's just get these slimes spread out a little bit, and we'll go with an additional slime at each area here. Could throw some Nimbus in the mix as well, but I think this is going to get it for us. So let's just do that. We'll space this out and give 2 slimes per choke point there. That's going to leave us 20 left over. We don't really need to do anything with the 20, I don't feel like. I mean, yeah, we just don't need to spend the 20. So let me go ahead and slap down a few stars here. Let's not blow our freshly found star juice there. Throw an upgrade on each of these trees. And then let's just let it fly here, and I'll spam up some stars while we're waiting for the enemies to make the walk. Out of the enemies that I have present, I think the ones I need to pay attention to are the cyborg lanes more than anything. You see those cyborgs are making it uncomfortably close. The Dreadbone lanes, of course, those enemies are all going to move super fast. Or the captain is, anyway, at a minimum. Still getting wrecked, so that's a good thing. take a look at the gear, and we got a nice little legendary piece here. Hero health piece, sadly. But you see it's Chaos 3 10 out of 10, which means we're going to have to go up one more before we start seeing that Chaos 4 gear and maybe start getting some improvements. Now, we'll see what we get through the remainder of this one. But we got 10 Onslaught maps to go, so, I mean, one of the reasons that I really like focusing on progression as you swap through the new player quest line, although you can do Chaos 1 or Floor 1 maps if you choose to, this type of progression is going to allow us to completely skip Chaos 5 expeditions altogether. So we're going to progress past Chaos 5 just going through these 10 floors. Now you see we've got quite the build up here. Definitely going to have to start paying attention, that is for sure. Not as much just sitting back and relaxing and letting the map run. We're going to have to watch what's going on here and make sure we don't have any travesties take place. Now, alright. I think the cyborg lanes need the most upgrades. So this one in particular is super short. In addition to that, we do have a boss here. Let's try to get an upgrade on everything right here. Actually, you know what? Let's go 2 upgrades on everything for that one. And then we've got the captain lane over here, which the captain is going to make it just about all the way to the tree every wave. Let's throw what we can in over here as well. And let's see, we've got some stars left over still. Let's get a few more on the ground, and we will let it fly here. At this stage in the game, particularly with the various mobs and mutators you could have, if you get too comfortable, like you can do quite easily in expedition mode, you could face your first loss. Now, since we're doing a go until you lose type situation, with this playthrough, we're going to have to avoid the loss at all costs. And that means we're going to have to pay attention. And those of you that know me well know that paying attention is not one of my strongest points, that is for sure. So I'm going to do my best here to keep an eye on what's going on. We got a siege roller coming out with still 500 enemies left, which means we're not going to be able to just bank on letting the enemies clear before we kill the siege rollers. I'm going to hope that some of the enemies behind that siege roller... Actually, there's nothing behind it. Let's just go ahead and get some shots in. Try to get this guy dead. You see the captain is all the way up at the tree as well over there. It looks like the captain died. So yeah, we're in good shape for the moment here. Go ahead and get started up. We do have a lot of enemies. The benefit you have, even though you do have these high enemy counts, particularly on this map, is they do come out very, very segmented. Like, it will be one lane, then the next lane, then the next lane, etc. It's not like you get zerged all at once. Now, you do get quite the zerg right at the very beginning, of course, when a wave first starts. But after that, the enemies do come out in spurts. Right, let's get all of our upgrades in and keep an eye on what's coming. We got a Tuskar coming this time. Let's see, you know what? Let's keep jacking this lane up, since it's one of our cyborg lanes. And then we didn't do anything over here yet, so let's throw a few upgrades over here. Looks like we got enough to do one into everything. Or I could misclick and not get it done. I'm not going to bother collecting up all the mana to try to get that done. Let's just let it fly. 626 mobs this wave. It looks like those upgrades on the center lane definitely went a long way as well, which is quite nice. All right, here comes our captain. Captain just getting hammered on. This tree hasn't taken any devastating shots yet, but it is going to have a captain really close to it. Just about every wave. So many enemies here. One of the things we're going to have to keep an eye on as we progress up through these floors is the next Chaos tier is Chaos 5, of course, which brings the Assassins into the mix. When the Assassins come in, it does change the game a little bit. You want to focus a little bit on getting some hero health added in. And then I do have, since we've got the Dryad going on, I've got the trees, which means we've got some heals going on, which is, quite huge. Tuskar's just getting ripped. And looking pretty solid here now. Let's see. What do we have and what do we want to do? We've got a Gorb stock over there with the captain. And then we're going to have Malthius here. Let's go ahead and get the upgrades in over here. Just spam them in. And let's let it fly. Wave number 4. So another, 600 plus mobs this wave as well. Now we're likely to not see any champion score upgrades on this first map. But next map we'll be getting Chaos 4 gear. And then, of course, how Onslaught works is the gear is set per floor. So depending on what floor you have, depends on what quality of gear drops and how many upgrade tiers it has into it. So we will just naturally progress up as long as we're, getting all of the slots that we need filled. Here comes Gorbstock. He's just really taking a beating quite quick. As soon as he ignites, it's going to be over for him. Yeah, GG's there. And then just have to wait out these other 400 mobs. The Gobu Boom is still quite powerful for us. It is getting the job done, no doubt. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do for the hero health pieces. I am going to need some hero health by the time we get to those assassins. But I don't want to sacrifice too much of my hero damage or ability power. Of course, I've been focusing on hero damage for this run so far and just slapping away at things. However, the corrupt stars can hit really, really hard, particularly at this stage in the game. So there's nothing at all wrong with going with ability power instead of hero damage. But I am going to want to get a little hero health in the mix. I don't want the assassins just spawn camping me. Malthus is getting hit by those bees now. And there we go. We can just go ahead and start starting up and getting ready for the final wave here. All right, and what will we have coming on this wave? Let's go ahead and just upgrade our trees just to be safe. We'll hit those backup bees a little bit. We got a captain and a Gribbs there. We've got a Skelly in the middle, and looks like that is gonna be about it. Go ahead and hit that as well. A couple of tree upgrades. Almost 700 mobs this wave. So let's get a bunch of stars down. We're still gonna have to star back up mid-wave. Go ahead and let them fly, and we'll drop a few more stars while we're waiting for the enemies to get here. All right. Go corrupt now and then see what happens. Looks like everything's getting smacked. As with most cases throughout the game, you know, once you get your upgrades in, it's pretty much GG's. Captain down. Gonna drop a few more stars while we've got a little reprieve here. Still quite a few enemies to come. All right, we'll go back corrupt now and see if we can't get through the rest of the wave here. Another little break. Might as well drop a few more stars here. Here come the flyers. They're getting handled. The bees in the middle are going over since there's nothing on the ground lane as well to distract them. And look at all those goblins. That is going to be some serious boom. Here comes Gribbs. And Slekelion. Of course, Slekelion doesn't really matter. We're not going to have to deal with him again since it's the final wave. And there we go. So, of course, we were getting Chaos 3 gear on this map. So we're not really going to see any champion score improvements. But let's take a look and see what we got in the box. And hopefully we get some good shards that might be usable to us. We got 2 campaign shards and a Chaos 4 shard. See what is there. Zephyr's Wrath, that's no good. Defense crit damage. We got another defense crit damage, which I've got a ton of those now. I don't really feel like I need that. I mean, I've got, so many of them sitting that I'm not using. I'm going to go ahead and scrap that one. What did we get for Chaos 4? Well, look at that. We got the Pride and Joy on Chaos 4. So we got another defense rate sitting. Which means right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 defense rate shards. But I've also got 3,000 defender medals. So we may end up getting a defense rate shard gilded here on this playthrough. But that is going to do it for this episode. So thanks a ton for watching, y'all. Our first map into Onslaught mode. And we are 1 of 10. Now, we're going to get a Deadly Strikes for completing these 10 maps. Plus the 1,000 DMs and 300,000 gold. But we got a nice little start into kind of getting a few skips through the expeditions as well. As I mentioned, we will completely skip Chaos 5, and we'll be deep into Chaos 6 when we get these 10 maps completed. But that will do it for this one. Thanks once again, and I will see you next time around. Take it easy.